Hello? Hello? I think he's dead. By the time we're done here, we will examine ARP requests in Wireshark to see if a device is really online. One of the challenges I've seen with folks learning Wireshark is a lot of the material that's out there is not practical. It's more theoretical, like here's how this protocol works. 50 pages of text. And by the way, that's what it looks like inside of Wireshark when it shows up. And usually you get through like page 2 and you're like, I'm not sure this really even applies to me. And so what I'd like to do is create a nice little group of exercises, more practical exercises that can show exactly how Wireshark can be useful and maybe get some protocol learning in the process. As a network administrator, one of the things that you'll run into quite a bit is the inability to reach a device. And you go, okay, is that device really alive? Is it online? Or is it down? Well, the universal answer is ping. Can I ping the device? And if the device can be pinged, then it must be alive. It must be online. If it can't, then it must be down. Well, there's a challenge with that. That's not always the case. Watch this. I'm going to open Wireshark and start a capture of my network interface connected to the network right here. Bring open a command prompt, and I'm going to do a ping to 192.168.2.1. Enter. Destination net unreachable. Well, obviously this must be down, right? Stop. Hold the phone. Going to my Wireshark capture behind the scenes, and you can see we've got some standard. This is just when I first started the capture, spanning tree protocol, and it comes up and it says, okay, here's my interface right here. This is me, BizLink. So by the way, I just so you know, I'm using, let me grab my camera right here. I'm using this little docking station. It's a Dell docking station that has a network card that runs the cable right over here to my Cisco device. So when you see this strange BizLink manufacturer, that's probably because it is a strange BizLink manufacturer. Dell didn't make that. They subcontracted to someone and used their equipment with their logo on it. So anyway, my computer sent out a broadcast. Now, where does a broadcast go? Well, think about that. Probably to everybody. And it's asking, who is 192.168.2.1? Tell 192.168.2.50. Now, let's put those puzzle pieces together real quick. I'm going to bring this back up and do an IP config to find out who I am. Sure enough, there's me. This is the Dell DocNIC 192.168.2.50. And when I went up and pinged 192.168.2.1 right here, it came back and said destination not unreachable. I can't get there. I'm not receiving traffic. So behind the scenes, my computer sent out an ARP message saying, hey, Jeremy's trying to figure out who's 192.168.2.1. And something replied. It said, hey, actually, 192.168.2.1 is at what? 001119, et cetera, et cetera. It's a MAC address. By the way, this is the function of ARP, and what a great way to learn ARP. Address Resolution Protocol takes an IP address and converts it to a MAC address so the network cards can communicate. Well, in this case, it looked like my dead device, or what I thought was dead, replied and said, oh yeah, that's me. So some Cisco device right there replied and says, yes, let me expand this out. I am 192.168.2.1, and this is my MAC address. I'm going to send that right back here. Now let's look a little bit further because we can learn even more. Because once my computer has that MAC address, it goes, okay, great, I'm going to try and communicate. So my computer, 192.168.2.50, sends a message to 192.168.2.1 in ICMP saying, hey, echo, ping, I'm asking, and it's saying I'm not getting a response here. But in reality, behind the scenes, this guy did reply. And he said, the destination is unreachable. And Wireshark is pretty smart. Look at what it put in the parentheses right after this. Communication administratively filtered. Interesting. So if I expand this out, it's saying, hey, this is a code 13. Because one of the beauty is when people create Wireshark, they add all these protocol plugins, if you will. Dictionaries is what they call that go into Wireshark, which add all of these little color commentary. It's like you've got an NFL football guy being like, oh, well, that's why he did this, and that's why he did that. That's kind of like what's going on with Wireshark. Normally, if you were just doing a raw data capture, you would just get ICMP code 13. What somebody did when they created this plugin for Wireshark is they said, well, here's what type 3, here's what code 13 really means. It's not that the device is down. It's that it's showing unreachable, meaning somebody has administratively filtered this. By the way, let me expose what really happened. I'm going to go into the router and type in show access list. Look at this. I, Jeremy, created an access list that denied ICMP, which is the protocol that ping uses. And you can see every single one of my ping messages that I sent, 24 of them to be exact, have all been blocked by this deny message, whereas everything else is permitted. This is what it means when it says communication is administratively filtered, is I, the administrator, went in and put in an access list that denied this. However, the novice would look and say, oh, that device must be offline because when I tried to ping it, it didn't respond. That's where Wireshark can come in handy to expose what's happening behind the scenes, in this case with ARP. You've now seen an ARP request in Wireshark to determine if a device is really online. I hope this has been informative for you, and I'd like to thank you for viewing.